that you deserve.
Tranquility merchandise does not guarantee victories in Overwatch or increase in skill rating. 15% off, valid on orders placed on July 29th and 30th at Spreadshirt.com.
Okay, getting the first pick. Oh, get three, Pyro, get three with the
Blade Kick putting on a clinic. Whole team's down. Oh!
Experience tranquility.
Hello, good evening, Overwatch fans. Welcome to the Harmony Tier preseason finals here in Overwatch Tranquility. We are excited to get into our match tonight. This is our first broadcast here on the channel for the season, and we have a great match planned out for you tonight. We have the Fighting Potatoes going up against the Flashbacks. Flashbacks looking for some redemption after finishing second place last season and not looking to give up too much here. While the Fighting Potatoes have been incredibly strong here in this preseason tournament, it's going to be exciting to see what happens between our two teams tonight. Though I am Booth, I will be giving you some play-by-play action, joined along my friend Vol here. Vol, welcome back to season 5 here in Overwatch Tranquility. And how are you feeling for tonight?
I'm feeling excited. I am so happy to be back. Finally getting my first cast for the new season and getting to do the finals of all things, man. I am just super hyped for tonight, man.
Yes, it's going to be a very, very fun match. Shout out to Falcon for that new intro being played here today for the season. And then, of course, a thank you to Cavalier, who will be on production for us tonight. But getting into our match, coming in again, the Fighting Potatoes looking very strong here. In the preseason, we saw them get a 3-1 victory, I believe, over Get Off My Land in a featured game over on the Recon 5 channel. And over that, getting a 3-2 win over Doodles and a 3-1 over Maelstrom. So looking a lot stronger than, the season 4, I think, was a good turnaround for the Fighting Potatoes, but looking to be a powerhouse going into season 5 here so far. And looking at the rosters available for both teams, a lot of members still available from that dominant season 4 roster. From the Fighting Potatoes, Sneaky Kittens, of course, still running the helm for the team, followed by Webbard, Solidarity Bird, Surfy, Race FPV, Cogged, Lazuli, Shep, and Core. So a strong roster again. Going to be interesting to see what happens tonight. Weber not going to be available for every single map here, so a definite loss on their tank roster, being a very strong player for them. So it'll be interesting to see how that affects them. But Vol, if you want to break down into the flashbacks here for us.
Yeah, you talk about potential dominance with the Fighting Potatoes, and I agree with you there. But let's talk about current domination right now. Flashbacks haven't dropped a map at all in the preseason tournament. They 3-0'd everybody, including last year's champions, Modify, getting a little bit of revenge there for him. It is just absolute strength there. And they bring back Nova and Beastman from last year's roster that did very well, supplementing it with very strong support players in Cry and Apathy. But the person who I want to focus on is actually a Rez, and I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Capital was actually messaging me earlier, manager for the team. This dude, main tank player for them, has already climbed 500 SR just in the 3 weeks of being on team. So, really adapting to the team environment well. And I really look forward to the continued growth of that player.
Yeah, going to be interesting to see how effective they are here. It's especially strong in the Harmony division. It's always cool to see which teams are able to climb so much in these early seasons, and already getting that much of a climb is definitely going to help set them above there. We were mentioning their DPS players being a very strong part for the team, and the SR across the three of them is very, very high.
Yeah, you're talking about an average of about 2950 amongst the three of them. You got two of them above 2900. Nova, the quote-unquote, low one, at 2872, still very, very high for this level. So that's probably going to be the carry. But like I said, a Rez on this tank is no slouch, and these two support players can definitely hold their own as well.
It is, and going to be starting up here, Fighting Potatoes with the map pick, going to be picking Lijiang Tower as our opening map today. One of my favorite control maps, seems to be just about everybody's go-to pick, at least through Tranquility, but going to be opening up here. What are we really expecting to see out of our teams here so far?
Well, that's the great thing about Lijiang is you can see a little bit of everything on every map. So we are starting here on Garden, so I expect to see a little bit of dive. Especially with the Genji nerfs not going through like we thought they were going to today. I expect to see some Genji here, maybe some Tracer Echo. I don't know how many of these teams are going to play the meta Ashe with the Genji, but I expect to see some of that. If we go over to Control Center, I expect them to do PDK Kid Proud and see a Junkrat or two in there. And then if we go to Night Market, man, you can see everything from the Sim May to a pharmacy comp with some spam to brawl comp. So it's really dealer's choice on this map set.
Yeah, and it looks like the dealer's choice at the beginning is going to be using this Symmetra to get a little bit forward here. The Potato is going to be switching over to a dive composition, it sort of seems, but an interesting opening tank composition, running that Winston Reinhardt, getting right on the point right away. Both Symmetras setting up perfectly and stitching on the Symmetra from both sides, actually. No switches coming through, but with Lazuli falling early, the Flashback's going to be pushing right in. 3 very quick picks, and with that happen, the fight already going to be over before our control point flips, and the DPS from Flashbacks becoming in huge with those opening picks.
Yeah, we mentioned at the start of this broadcast that this DPS line is no joke, and they just ran over Race and Lazuli there. That was, I've never seen a Symmetra melt somebody that fast.
It did, and the teleporter coming across a good position there from the Potatoes. Gonna have a hard time dealing with these turrets coming through. The McCree from Lazuli in the back line trying to get a little bit of damage out for the team, but the pull from Erez very good there on that main tank role. But the wall from Nova going up very early, giving them quite a lot of space. The Apathy throwing up the window as well. The picks now falling through from the Flashbacks again. And although Race FPV is able to pick up a few, it's not going to be enough to stop the Flashbacks here. Another team kill available for them with 36% gone now on our progress meter.
Yeah, and we're not going to have much time to rest here as they're already back at the TP. They're going in. But I really like this brawl comp coming out of the Fighting Potatoes. If they can get this cleave damage into them, you can't block it. You can't block a Ryan Swing, you can't block, the Winston, can't block the Coalescence as we see here.
And as we see, a very good combination coming through from the Flashbacks using that Gravitic Flux with the High Noon. Not able to pick any up with, though. This time the Potatoes able to get the flip and cleaning up after the fight. They took advantage of those quick respawns in that Symmetra teleporter and were able to get set up before Nova was officially able to return them with the Flashbacks. And a pretty quick fight win for them, and still Ultimate's going to be online for them.
Yeah, some strong ultimates too with the High Noon there and the Earth Shatter. But yeah, like I was saying, this cleave comp, you can do so much damage. Symmetra doesn't lose ammo as long as she's shooting a shield. Well, they've got 2 shields on the other side, so you don't have to worry about that. Tesla cannon going through, Reinhardt cleaving in.
And a very good opening double DPS out there from the Potatoes. Race FPV giving their team a little bit more space. The fight happening seemingly in front though, but a great boot from the core taking off Beastman. No longer going to have that second shield available, and as Nova tries to get some picks there on the Genji, not going to have any protection from their tanks and falling early. The Potatoes taking an aggressive hold on Bridge and a quick fight win.
Yeah, and this is such a strong composition if it gets on top of you. You got Reinhardt, not Reinhardt, McCree, flashbang can stun everybody, get them in, the Lucio speed boost, and then now all of a sudden you've got Moira Orb going through. There's so much AoE. It's devastating. They can't keep up with it. The supports just can't keep up with it on the side of the Flashbacks.
They are, and a couple of changes coming through with that. You see Cry going over to this Brigida now, and now Seraph picking off the core early on, picking off Race as well. 2 massive picks there from the Ash switch, and Flashbacks just using the window from Apathy there, but able to push through onto point as it is. The Potatoes now just going for some solve percentage, but gonna get up into the 90s after this fight is over. You see, actually, the Winston using the Primal Rage, trying to delay even further here. The progress meter ticking up for them, so a good stall to come out from the Potatoes. Gonna have some ults available too, but Flashbacks not having to invest much there to get the point flip.
Yeah, and I agree with you in that, the Primal Rage there, you get it up to 99. Primal Rage, not necessarily the most impactful of ultimates in most scenarios, especially given this comp. It's not really a kill ult for them, so yeah, use that, build up the percentage, and get good value out of it.
And an interesting teleport from behind.
Oh!
Oh my goodness, what a combo from Race and Surfy. Surfy picking them all down, but as that's happening, Beastman lifting them all up. The core available with the beat, not able to stop the Dragon Blade out of Nova. 3 kills and a wipe for the Flashbacks as the progress meter going to be pushing through, but it's going to be difficult for the Potatoes to even touch again.
Yeah, and they kill that teleporter, so they can't teleport back across. I don't know if Core's going to be able to touch.
Oh!
Oh!
Race doing a great job touching the point, but Surfy ends up falling at the end. That's an unfortunate kill for them. You see Solidarity Bird coming in now on this Winston, but Nova with the deflect onto the Lazuli. Nova's Genji being the difference here at the end of this first point on Li Zhang, and the Flashbacks taking back over here and dominating after this retake.
The absolute disrespect coming out of Nova there. I love it. That was a fantastic deflect. You know, high noons, that Deadeye can take out 3, 4, 5 people sometimes if you get the right angle. And based on that angle, he was going to get about 3 or 4. So that could have definitely changed the fight.
Oh, totally. I think one of the key players we saw out of the Get Off My Land match was Lazuli for the Potatoes, and Aldu doing a good job there on the McCree, not seeming to get as much value on that first map. The double shield really seeming to help counteract the DPS of the Potatoes. With that being said, a very highly contested first point, and I'm expecting to be even closer here as we get on to second.
Yeah, and I expect these comps to stay the same, actually. So we're seeing a lot of very, very close brawl coming out of the Potatoes here, whereas we're going to see the more poke-heavy Junkrat Kree on the side of the Flashbacks here. So Flashbacks going to want to keep their space, going to want to poke out, get some people low before they try to engage here, whereas Race going to try to wall them off, section these people off, and take advantage number fights. As we see Beastman getting sectioned off here.
Yeah, great wall already available. Flashbacks going around the side, but having to give up a lot of positioning for it. Nova, gonna be interesting to see how they use this Junkrat here, but as Cry getting caught out, trying to shield Bass to safety, but right into Bird where with the rock, the accretion, able to finish it off, and Potatoes getting a pick there. Flashbacks now gonna have to fall back, trying to hold on to point here, waiting for this Brigida to rejoin, and they're gonna be pushing through early here. This Nova Junkrat already getting pretty high in the ultimate percentage, gonna put a lot of pressure on the shields, but with the Sigma and the Reinhardt a lot available. The Charger maneuver Surfy getting so low, but now the Tire going around the side, looking big up there, picks up 2 kills before Apathy is able to take down Race FPV, and now the Flashbacks having the man advantage, and Nova on the Junkrat absolutely pushing through here on the first point and getting the retake.
Nova really cashing in that 2-for-1 special there. That was just absolutely great. And we see the power that Junkrat can have on maps where you're very confined. You have to go through, you know, only 1 or 2 very specific routes. So it's very easy to just spam that damage. He's already got 1 tire. He's already almost halfway to another tire. There's so much value coming in.
Yeah, a lot of value available in this Junkrat. It's going to be interesting to see how they're able to deal with it. And the core getting the pick onto Cry again. The second time Cry has fallen early in these fights. The early coalescence from Sneaky Kidding seeming to give them a little bit of advantage. But as that said, Nova up to 90% again, getting a pick off as well. The Tire back into this fight. Already going to throw it out onto point. Picking up the Moira again. And as the trade seeming to be even here, it's not really clear who's going to be picking up the point yet. The stall from the Potatoes on point, but the tanks from Flashbacks holding as much area as possible. Arez throwing out the supercharger early, but without any damage from the Potatoes. Flashbacks seeming to be able to hold here on point.
Yeah, and Cry actually doing so much with that bongo on a Brigida that can heal herself up and a numbers advantage. That's just so devastating to walk into. You literally cannot walk into her because you're just going to die. She's going to shield bash you. She has damage amplification. She has self-healing. She's healing everybody around her. And Surfy does the only thing he can do there and just hits the reset button.
We do see Arez now switching over to this Reinhardt, trying to counter up here. So mirror compositions from our tanks, but Seraph now gonna have this high noon available, but a lot of ultimates here for the Potatoes. They need to win the fight early and quick here, and an interesting rotation going around point for them, trying to catch them off, throwing up the wall, looking for the charge with a Surfy, not able to connect, but Lazuli over on the Death Blossom, picking up 2, but Beastman with a massive eat onto Race FPV's Blizzard, not going to be able to pick up the kills for them, but Potatoes not seeming to need it as they're able to finish off the Flashbacks here and get the point flip, but not before 99% is able to come up for the Flashbacks. And with this ultimate economy online for them, gonna be a heck of a fight coming in here from both teams.
Yeah, big eat from Beastman there, like you said, but great ult economy on both sides. We're going to have 4 ults versus 5 ults here. It's looking like probably get a shatter soon. But Beastman goes down early, not able to really be a part of this fight. And now they're just going to hold at this wall, or at this entranceway with this May wall. And this is very, very tough to put through.
it's going to be very tough for them, especially if they have both of the tank ultimates available for the Potatoes. Race did a great job there with that wall, blocking off Beastman. They're going to throw a pretty early window, but another great wall able to block off the Reinhardt. Nova, though, getting the pick on the side. You see the flanking Seraph picking up 2 kills. Bird trying to throw out the Flux in the fight, but dies in the process. And now the Flashbacks going to be pushing to point, and it's all up to the supports for the Potatoes here to hold out for as long as they can. The solo beat from Core trying to get a little bit more capture progress, but not going to be able to catch any other members. And as Beastman throws up the lift, picks Surfy up into the air, drops down, not able to get the shatter off before the fight comes in. And with Nova's tire seeming to be the finishing thing here, the Potatoes seeming to fall there as a very good use of ultimates from the Flashbacks, seeming to give him the point here on Lijiang.
You know, I'm just going to go ahead and say it. I'm going to make the pun. Seraph, he's the sheriff, man. He's just showing him how it's done with that McCree. An excellent, excellent flank using that Deadeye. It's very hard to get value out of it, but like I said on the previous map, it can be devastating if you just get the right angle, and he showed us how it's done there, taking that stair angle, getting 2 kills, breaking open what is typically a very, very hard siege point, and just making it look very easy.
And we see Beastman here getting that play of the game with that Flux, helping assist Nova with that 3K in that fight. And that double shield seeming to work very well there from the Flashbacks. An interesting tank composition coming out from Potatoes on that first point, running the Winston there. So an interesting decision out of them. It seemed to work pretty well for them, I felt like, on that first point. And second point, I think the May composition was working pretty well for them, but maybe needed to have something else to deal with that Junkrat, because Nova really seemed to be the difference maker there.
Yeah, Nova's up 70+% kill participation, so definitely getting a lot of poke damage out. And that's the thing, like, it's one thing just to get trash damage as Junkrat, but it's so devastating because when everybody's so close together, it's not really trash damage because he's hitting 3 or 4 people. That's a lot of stress on the support players. You know, there's only so much that Core can do. You know, being that Lucio, you can hit your E and you can amp it up, and then it's just like, well, I exist, I'm here. And at the meantime, all the meantime, you know, Nova's still just sitting there go pew pew with his grenade launcher of all things. So, you know, very, very devastating. But we are going to see some subs here. Surfy out for Webb, so we're going to see Weber finally come back in. And Shepvik coming in for Core. Shepvik, very, very veteran of the league. Weber, though, coming in, man, just had a fantastic game last week or 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, for sure. And Concept also coming in for Seraph on the side of the Flashbacks. So 3 changes for the Potatoes, 1 for Flashbacks. Going to be cool to see how those picks come in here. We've kind of seen Lazuli kind of as that hit scan player. Cog had a great week last week as well. So going to be good to see that Weber's here for the Potatoes. I know they were mentioning beforehand to us that there could be a possibility Weber was going to be able to play throughout the night. So excited we get to see Weber to come out early here. But now with the team seemingly ready here across the way, Anubis is going to be a pretty interesting pick there. That was the Potatoes side. Sometimes you end up seeing those Widowmakers on first point. So interesting that they ended up going back with taking Lazuli out, but maybe going to be looking for like a kind of a spam composition with the Junkrat possibly. We saw how strong that was for Flashbacks there on the last map, or maybe trying to pull out some more of the projectile heroes that you end up seeing Cog and Race playing.
Yeah, if you're looking to get Junkrat off the enemy team, going to Anubis not the place to go. But I mean, if you're liking the Junkrat, and I believe Flashbacks had the Fighting Potatoes that have the pick, so I don't know why they went here. Maybe they have some sort of, you know, hidden strat plan for Anubis that we don't know about. We did see Winston out of them on Garden, so they might have some sort of dive composition coming out that I would love to see. Maybe a little Super Monkey Ball, get some Hammond in here.
Yeah. Always one of my favorite points, that first point attack to beat running dive there. I love doing that little soft dive up onto the high ground to bait out some cooldowns and then falling back down to the ground to see what you can pull out of teams. But always one of my favorite places to do that.
Yeah, sometimes if you jump in as a Winston, drop your bubble, sometimes you can get a Bap Immortality used out. Man, that's got a 24, 25 second cooldown. Jump down, like I said, wait out your bubble, which only has like an 8 to 10 second cooldown. Jump back in. Guess what? We got advantage now, homie.
Exactly. So I'm gonna expect that dive probably out of potatoes there. They are gonna be attacking first, so we'll see that first. Waiting on a little bit of a Discord issue, it seems. Beastman not being able to connect to the team chat right now, but it's looking like we're fixed now. So gonna be getting into Temple of Anubis now. And I'm excited for this map here. I think, as you're mentioning, that dive is going to be interesting to see. Also cool to see what kind of composition we're going to be expecting out of this DPS switches from the potatoes. But I mean, if you're kind of flashbacks here on the defense, I'm sticking with that double shield. They were showing how strong that was there on Lijiang Tower. And I mean, the pulls, I mean, we weren't mentioning it too much, but their pull accretion combos were doing a great job. They seem to really like those Gravitic Flux High Noon combos as well, and gonna have a lot of those available if they stick with that composition.
Yeah, like you said, those combos are just absolutely devastating, especially if you can get an Orisa pull with a Sigma Rock, a Genji Dash, and an Ash Dynamite. You're looking at a lot of dead people, and oh my goodness, if this is actually what they're coming out with. They did have a strat prepared. This is now again. We got another 30 seconds, so don't get your hopes up, people. We're gonna wait to go over the offensive composition. But like you said, we are gonna see this quote unquote standard composition almost coming out of Flashbacks here. The only change, instead of a Genji, they're gonna go with that Junkrat. That just had so much value, and that is, I mean, since launch has been a strong pick on this map. I've been playing it on this map literally since launch. A bunch of other people have as well, because it's such a small choke that you have to walk through. But let's see if the Sombra can sneak in.
Yeah, it's going to be up to Race here on that. Cog going to be on the Genji. We saw Cog doing a great job with that, and already Race getting hit with some of that spam damage from the Junkrat. Going to try to maybe teleport across and not get caught here. We do see that Winston Ryan composition the potatoes have liked so much. Going to use both shields completely just to get through Sneaky Kitten, getting minuscule health available. And now the spam going to be continuing through the choke here. Cog trying to pressure off on the side angle. Going to be pressure on the side, and we do see the Sombra putting a lot of pressure on the concept on the high ground, but gets the better of Race in the fight. And now the Dynamite hitting most of the members of Potatoes, falling low, but Nova getting up to 70%, but not before falling early. Bird picking up 2 big kills there on the Winston, and now going to be pushing in here. A good position from Apathy on this Baptiste to heal their team, but it's not enough so far as Beastman falls. The picks going the way here of the Fighting Potatoes, and a very quick first point take for them.
Yeah, Race, being kind of the sacrificial lamb, got the Ash's attention while the rest of the team was able to push through that choke. So you don't have the Ash Dynamite along with that Junkrat spam. The Dynamite came a little too late, and Ash wasn't shooting through, so you were just able to take a little bit of the DPS away. And then that rush comp, that cleave comp, would just overran the rest of the the flashbacks there.
Mm-hmm. And ultimate's gonna be here for the Potatoes. Gonna have both support and tank ultimates available to them here very soon. But you keep hearing these Reinhardts screaming about barriers going down. The spam damage from flashbacks still being incredibly strong. You see Race FPV getting low again and falling. Unfortunately, able to get the teleporter off. And now a 5v6 here. Potatoes are gonna decide to push in here regardless, trying to get a poke, but gonna be tough for them here as the pull accretion combo coming through. Shviek's window giving them a little bit of space. Weber getting lifted up, not able to get the shatter off. A double boop coming off. 4 ultimates invested from the Potatoes actually, and no kills coming through. Yeah, Cog throwing out the 5th now, picking up Cry. 1-2 dash through. 3 kills
good
for
God.
4. Oh my goodness, Cog going down to the tire, but 4 insane picks coming through, but not sure it's even gonna be enough here as Flashbacks seeming to hold through, but Cog almost taking that one over.
Yeah, and you just see the defender's advantage here. As the reinforcements start to come in, only 1 or 2 people coming in from the Potatoes, whereas it is just the rest of the Flashbacks turning that corner. But man, Cog doing work. I feel so bad. That was such a good blade, but that's what happens unless you get a very, very clean kill on offense. You're not even gonna get a tick. That's, you know, I think that's some of the things, the issue. That's 2CP. That's some of the issues that people have with 2CP. But I mean, it really forces out your teamwork. You gotta have clean, quick, decisive team fight wins.
Yes, you do. Raze FPV going to be looking for that here with that EMP going to be online, but 3 ultimates from Flashbacks can work very well. Cry going to have that rally available, and Concept continually building up towards these bobs incredibly quickly, looking out for both of their tank ultimates as well. Beastman holding pretty close here. Potatoes going to try to take advantage of that. The EMP
Oh!
6 members. Oh my goodness, Race. Insane EMP there. No capture progress, able to get through. Yes, there's the lift and pull combo going up now from the Flashbacks, throwing down the members of the Potatoes on the point, getting just over their first pick, but Flashbacks still going to be able to clean up here, but not without giving up at least a tick.
Potatoes, man, you gotta do something. You gotta help your DPS out. They are getting huge values. We saw if you were gonna tell me a team had a 6-man EMP and then in a separate fight had a 4-man blade, and they didn't win. They only got a single tip.
Oh my goodness,
man.
That is.
But then if you told me it was on a 2CP map, if you told me that I had it on a 2CP map, then I'd be like, okay.
Yeah, okay, yeah, it's on Anubis. That makes total sense then. Yeah. But Race now going to switch over to this Ash pick. A couple of ultimates still going to be able for the Potatoes here, but Concept, these Dynamites putting so much pressure, really making the Potatoes having to wait before pushing in. Going to have the Bob available with the Supercharger here as they're pushing around on this angle again, seeming to be the Potatoes' preferred method of entry here on the second point. And now Bird going in with a good angle, dropping out the window early on here, not able to pick any up with it yet, and now the Shatter coming through, getting blocked here perfectly. Job 2 ticks now going over to the side of the Potatoes, and Bird giving just enough pressure in the back to allow Potatoes to take a little more space here, as now the rally coming through, and now Cog pulling out the Blitty and trying to dash through, but Weber picks up 2 in the meantime, and as the Flashback's starting to fall now, 4 on the point, they're not able to contest. The point's gonna flip over without anybody even touching Apathy, being trapped in that backed room. And Potatoes with 2 minutes left, catching Anubis here finally on their 3rd or 4th attack.
And an excellent job for the Potatoes there. Not necessarily they staggered their ultimates there instead of just stacking them. You know, you use one as soon as that one's about, like right as that one's about to end, you use another one, and it's just this constant pressure that you just can't keep up with. You know, you saw the Flashbacks. They're trying to use immortality, trying to use their own bond. We're trying to get enough. But when they're investing just as many ultimates as you are, and that fight just keeps going, and it just seems like the Fighting Potatoes there had an endless supply of ultimates, because by the time one ultimate ended, the next one began, and then they just had this whole chain of rotation going. It seemed like, I know they didn't, but it seemed like they used 8 ultimates in that fight.
It really did. I mean, you end up seeing that with, I think, what I want to say it was possibly the Baptiste on the Potatoes might have gotten 2 off in that fight, because that was a pretty long fight. I think it was about 1.5 minutes, but regardless, that's one way to win second point Anubis there. Just throw enough ultimates at it till something 6. And looking at what they're going to be running on the defense, pulling out the Torb and the Junkrat, definitely picks you see here on the map, but Bird sticking on this Winston, seeming to be kind of a, I don't know if it's a comfort pick. I'd say normally comfort pick is what I say when someone's on a hero I don't think they should be playing, but I mean, the Winston seeming to do a great job for them so far. So just an interesting composition that the Flashbacks probably weren't scrimming against.
Yeah, and I think this Winston really helps them deal with that Genji, because obviously you can't deflect the Tesla cannon, but also they, especially in this competition where you're not running a hit scan, you're not running any sort of quote-unquote reliable damage, you know, easy to shoot the Genji, really hard to hit him with those Torburon pellets, I guess they're called, and it's almost impossible to hit him with a Junkrat grenade. You can hit him with the Mario, but getting with that main fire, not the easiest thing.
And now Flashbacks running this double shield composition, gonna push through the side. A great pull there from Arez, gonna catch Race with it, but Nova ends up falling in the fight, but the trade's still gonna be in favor of the Flashbacks if any come through here with these closer respawns, and gonna be trying to hold here in this room, but the Potatoes gonna push in and try to take some space of their own. The Immortality giving them a little more space, and Cog able to pick up Concept now. All of the damage gone, and Potatoes getting aggressive, but paying off for them in the fight.
Yeah, and like I said, this is such an aggressive comp with the Reinhardt swing, the Winston Tesla cannon. You can it's all cleave. You can't block it. You can't. There's nothing you can do. You can have as many shields as you want. They technically have 3 shields if you count Brig. They have a triple shield composition, but guess what? That Reinhardt hammer, or I guess in this skin, his Naginata coming through. It's insane. It's in this tight room. It's so much damage, and it's such sustained damage that the healing just eventually can't keep up.
Now Apathy going to be opening up here. Windows out of both sides, but Concept's Dynamite able to get the better of it. The Shatter going through, getting blocked again, though. The ultimate's being used. Ray still throwing the tire out there, but Flashbacks being on top of here, using their just window, I believe, in that fight. 3 ultimates being used from Potatoes to try to hold, but not able to get them off quick enough. So Flashbacks, a quick take, 2 minutes left for them here. Gonna have a lot of time to retake second, and ultimates out of both sides here. It's really gonna come down to who uses what first and who can catch who.
Yeah, and some scary ult combos, though, coming out of the Flashbacks here. I want to see an early rally, build up some of that armor, and then hit me with that Super Blade combo, that Blade Bongo combo.
Yeah, the amount of damage you can get off of that is pretty crazy, but Cog could, if used properly here, really shut down almost all of the points.
I'd love to see a rally right here. Like, rally. Yeah, there we go. Excellent job by Cry. She understands this hero very well.
There we go, and now the Blade going through from Nova, but not able to catch anybody. Race switching over to the McCree here on second point and getting a great stun kill. The good job there also out of Cog to be able to make some of the point. Flashbacks still going to be trying to fight this here. Pushing forward, you see the Potatoes getting aggressive. They don't want to stand outside of the room. They want to come inside, but the side of the Flashbacks waiting. Now, no shield going to be available for the Potatoes. It's going to come down if the Primal Rage here can find a space for Nova. Falls again, coming from Spawn. Oh my goodness. But now, 2 ults come out from Flashbacks. You see the Bob going on the point. Beastman's getting...
Oh, that's big.
And, oh my goodness. Yeah, Flashbacks back on the point now. You see the window coming through, able to pick up 2. The Shatter going through again, blocked again from this Orisa, and this fight seeming to last forever, but these trades are just gonna sit on the side of the Flashbacks.
Nova half HP as it gets to the point again. The man just wants to play. Can we let him join the fight? Oh, he finally gets in here.
Oh my goodness, I don't know how you're gonna keep getting off by that.
Nova finally gets to join the fight, gets a couple kills.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, sorry about my mic issues there. Seems like my audio mixer's having a bit of troubles, but as we swing back around now, Fighting Potatoes not able to contest again before Flashbacks can jump in. Going 3-2 here now. Going to be 3 minutes available for them. That's going to be quite a lot of time on the clock, but still pretty even. They had, I think, 4 minutes towards the end, so going to get that minute count down there to give us these new 2 CP rules. But Flashbacks using their ultimates really well. That fight seeming to go on, but not wanting to give up that space. It gave them a lot of opportunities there to retake.
Yeah, and a lot of time left for both teams. 2 minutes may not seem like very much, but with the caps that we saw from both of these teams, both of them cap point A within about a minute and a half. So they're going to have plenty of time for at least a full station fight on point B if they cap again. And especially with this comp coming out of the Fighting Potatoes, it's such a strong composition if you can get up in the enemy's face. But it might do a little bit of changes here, although my guess... Ooh, kind of had a little bit of a hiccup there. Ooh, God. My guess is that this pick from Race FPV is going to be quick, kind of one and done, trying to take a pot shot from spawn, trying to get because that's the thing. If you can get a quick, Widow kill or a Hanzo snipe out of spawn, and all of a sudden you're 65, man, you can just bulldoze that point and give yourself a big time bank that you really need in these overtime pushes or these extra round pushes.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see where Concept sets up. That'll probably be the target if they're able to catch it, but not going to be on the high ground like originally on the first point. They're going to be standing closer behind shield, and as I say that, does exactly the opposite of what I said. So Ray's going to be looking now. Going to be interesting to see if he's able to get a pick there onto Concept, but the Widowmaker now grappling up to the high ground. Looks like going to stick on it here. And there it is. Concept going down. Now a 5v6 here from the Potatoes. You're going to see him racing around the corner here. Full speed from the pick there out of FPV, but Nova able to get the better of the Widowmaker now, evening the odds back around here. And with the tanks falling so low for the Potatoes, Flashbacks going to be able to hold here, even though getting the early kill.
And that is the drawback to Widow. She's fantastic at long range, fantastic at opening a fight up, but doesn't really do much in the mid fight if somebody's on her. And Nova recognizing that right up in her face instantly, right? Found out where she was and just was throwing shurikens right at her dome.
Yeah, and now the ultimate's gonna still be coming up here soon. Nova up to 84%, and as a minute timer reminding us here that this is not first point attack. It's important here that Potatoes either try to get an early pick in this fight or go slow, but now with Race falling, they need to just consider this fight a loss and push back, and now the window gonna be coming forward from the Flashbacks as well, finishing off these tanks, so a quick reset from the Potatoes, but not gonna have tons of time left for them. They need to reset here as quickly as they can.
Yeah, and only one ultimate used coming out of Apathy there. So you're going to have your Genji Blade, you're going to have your Bongo, you're going to have your Sigma Flux. You're probably going to build Rally throughout this fight, so if they have to go to second point, they'll have that. So, I mean, there's a Shatter on the table for Weber, but hasn't really been hitting, consistent Shatters this match.
Oh, and a great stun.
But he hits
there.
that fire strike.
Sneaky kitten with a great stun there, taking out Nova. So now Blade gonna be available. Now you see the lift going through. Able to got a few members. Weber falls before the shatter can go off. So although Cog able to get the best of concept again, the Flashbacks seeming to have straight here on the point. And now with the rally from Cry, gonna give them even more sustain. These tanks seeming to outlive all of the damage forward from the Potatoes, so not able to get the full first point tick yet. So Flashbacks getting that hold, and the Potatoes getting so close of getting some capture percentage there, but now it is entirely up to Flashbacks if this is going to be a draw or if they're going to push through here and get a second map victory.
Yeah, 3 minutes to get one tick, and man, they were so dominant on their first attack that it's tough to believe that they're gonna get this hold, but it's very doable. We do see this, we do see full holds happen. We just saw one happen for 2 minutes. Just throw another minute on that, throw one more attack on that, just hold that. I mean, it's very possibly done, but I want to see a change up here coming out of this defense. I don't think they got as much value out of the Torbjorn, but looks like they're coming back on.
Ooh. That's faster Torb. That's bigger Torb.
I'm not sure I like that though with the Genji not necessarily a counter, but man, deflecting Bastion bullets right back at him. It's very you don't realize he's deflecting right away, so some of those bullets are gonna shoot out, and Bastion shoots a lot of bullets per second.
Yeah, gonna be interesting. I mean, this seeming to be kind of like the compositions you would see in some of the old 2CP rules where teams had 1 minute to figure out what to do. But 3 minutes is a lot of time for Flashbacks to still build up ultimates. I mean, one good blade.
Are they gonna put him on the high ground? Where are they gonna move him? No. See, usually you'd put him up on the initial archway with a Orisa shield or something. But... Okay, they're gonna use the teleport defensively.
That's interesting. They're sticking on the Winston here as well, not running the double shields with it. And it looks like Race not really going to get in the turret form here, waiting to switch over. Now sitting down on the teleporter, ready to push back, and Flashbacks seeming to try to think about how they want to deal with this opening attack here. And they're going to be sitting around the side. Now the tank's pushing forward Beastman, trying to take as much space as possible. But a good amount of damage still being pumped out from Race FPV. Already has the Bastion tank configuration. I take that back, and although Nova is able to take out Cog, that is going to greatly affect the Potatoes. They don't have any sort of transportation here for Race now, but as Race using that tank configuration early, giving them a little bit of space, Flashbacks have to fall off.
And that's such a big pick, getting that Symmetra out, getting that teleporter out, so now the Bastion can't really move around. But they weren't able to do anything with this. Everybody's a little bit low, but Race still alive, still moving around with his scout form. But both tanks go down.
Ooh, that's a great pull window there out of Apathy and Arez, and now...
And that's... Yep. Oh, Nova with the style points.
Oh, good job there from Nova. Flashbacks coming back around and getting the victory here. Enough time available. It just came down to those opening picks, and Flashbacks getting the victory here on second point.
No, Nova, I'm going to call you out there. That was bullying. That was a single mercy. You didn't need to pull Blade there, homie. I love you, but man, that was mean. But yeah, 2-0. They're already up, showing the same dominance we've seen throughout this entire preseason tournament. I mean, nobody's been able to take a map off of them. Potatoes got close on this map. They almost had it. They had a good shot at it. But, man, Cry, 84% kill participation. That is absolutely insane. and apathy with the 15 amplification matrices. This, I hate to say it, I feel like this support line for the Flashbacks doesn't get enough limelight because their DPS line is so good with all of the support that they're given, with all of these tools that they're being given from their support line, from the space being made from their tank line. They're just they're sucking up all the limelight. But these people are definitely doing work. Don't think they're getting carried, please.
Yeah, it's been interesting out of both teams here. We are going to be going now to a halftime. Both teams going to get 10 minutes to think about what they need to change up here. It's going to be up to the Potatoes, though, looking for the reverse sweep to come back here on the Flashback. So far, haven't given up a map yet, living up to that tonight. And we're going to see if they're able to keep that up here as we go into a quick 10-minute halftime. But don't go anywhere. We'll be right back here with Overwatch Tranquility.
I'm NPC, the Tranquility Hammer. Have you lost Overwatch games due to smurfs, levers, or throwers? Have you been on the same team as Bard? You may be entitled to compensation.
I used to be in silver. Thanks to NPC and the Overwatch Tranquility community gear, I'm now a gold Moira player, spawn camping Ice, the Season 3 Discord tier MVP. Thanks, NPC!
Go to my website right now and let me fight for discounts for you. Go to owtranquility.org and click store, or go to shop.spreadshirt.com/owtranquility.
I've asked to remain anonymous for my safety, but I'm an admin in an Overwatch community. It can be exhausting work. But these shirts, they're so cheap, I have shirts to burn. And now thanks to NPC, I can own the Zoomers, and I can do it in style.
I'm going to hammer down prices of Tranquility merchandise this week. Up to 15%. If you place your order on July 29th or July 30th, you'll get 15% off your entire order. Go to my website now to get the SR and the Tranquility gear that you deserve. Tranquility merchandise does not guarantee victories in Overwatch or increase in skill rating. 15% off, valid on orders placed on July 29th and 30th at Spreadshirt.com.
Welcome back, everybody. Hopefully you had a nice halftime. Mine was spent trying to figure out why my microphone died for you guys in about 5 or 6 different times, but hopefully we won't have too many more issues for that here as we get back. And Potatoes have a big road ahead of them here. They're going to be looking to they're going to be having to reverse sweep here in our first to 3 formats. So a lot in store for them. They chose Blizzard World as their start for this. And what do the Potatoes really need to be doing here to help turn things around, in your opinion?
I think they need to utilize this brawl composition they're going with more, really get into the flashbacks, because they're doing it occasionally, but they're not doing it consistently. So I think maybe you throw in a Lucio, because I think they were running Brig Bap on Anubis. You throw in that Lucio, now you can speed into them. They can't get out as much. But, I mean, they're not doing a terrible job. And the Potatoes, out of both of these teams, they're the more tested team. They came in with some 3-2s, some 3-1s, whereas the Flashbacks have just been, 3-0 everybody. We don't really know if they're tested, what their mental is. If they lose a map, are they going to instantly get down? We don't know.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's what I want to see coming out of the Potatoes here. Stick with that cleave tank lineup that you're doing. I mean, I personally like it. I think it's a fun comp. I think it works for their style, but I think they just need to adapt it a little bit and get some speed with it. Like I said, just run that Lucio with it so that way you can speed around and really get on top. Because that's the problem that I'm noticing is they're just not getting on top of the Flashbacks. Flashbacks are doing a really good job of kiting around, rotating around, which shows a lot of good communication, a lot of good teamwork out of them. But I think if they can get them, and see, I don't think I like the Widow on this. I hope that's going to be changed, but I'd like to see him go something a little more brawly. But other than that, I'm liking this lineup.
Yeah, Widow Sombra, not really a too popular composition. It kind of really relies on your supports and tanks really to take a lot more damage. I mean, not really terribly consistent. If you're able to get a good pick there with the Widowmaker, I mean, that's a great time to push in, but going to be tough going to that double shield competition to find that Seraph really going to be the target there for Lazuli to be aiming for, but maybe going to be expecting that. Lazuli doing a great job on Widowmaker in their last game. Nova, though, going to be on this Genji. I like the positioning here from Flashbacks, holding on to this high ground as the Orisa and Baptiste kind of giving more of a point presence. So not going to be tons of space here for Lazuli to be looking for. And going to be coming from main choke. The Widowmaker going to be behind these shields, seeing that tank composition we've seen all night now out of the Potatoes. And look at the damage that was already pumped out from Flashback. Surfy shield falling completely, though. And now Flashback's going to rotate back around to point. Race going to be getting up on this high ground, looking for the hack, able to get it off onto Apathy, falling low, but the hole
there's no follow-up.
Yeah, no follow-up at all, so the hack doing a good job, but not really giving them too much space here, because Potatoes trying to push in, but not able to take tons of space from this double shield competition yet. You do see now their Winston going into the backline, but having to fall as well. The peel just being incredibly strong out of the Flashbacks, but now Potatoes pushing through. The shield's gone for them, though. Going to be stub deck to as much damage as they can, and Flashbacks now stepping on point just before they can get to this first tick. And as it now ticks over, Nova getting that first picked off onto Lazuli now, and now no damage left for the Potato as his ultimate's just coming online. Decor still going to throw it out, and there is the shatter. Not able to catch any. Again, the blocks from the Flashbacks tonight have been insane. And with them starting to use their own ultimates, the Potatoes starting to fall in this fight. Bob really seeming to be a massive difference, pumping in a lot of damage. And with Beastman's 2K, the Flashbacks gonna be able to clean it up, but a very scary time if you're a Flashbacks fan, almost giving up there. But 2 minutes really gonna be off the clock before another fight starts.
Yeah, we've got a McCree swap here from Leslie, which I like. You can be a little bit more closer. You can hit some flash fans if you don't want to left click, if you want to be in the right click. But it allows them to be a little bit closer to the fight. And I think this will allow them to take advantage of these manual hacks. Because, man, when you hack Baptiste, they don't have that immortality. You need to be pushing on them. You need to be pushing that fight as hard as you can. And I think that's why they also need the Lucio is if you don't have the Lucio, now you're just walking at the enemy team. Whereas if they had this Lucio speed boosting them in, you can get these hacks. You can speed boost, onto the enemy team and take more advantage of it.
Yeah, and you're thinking Race trying to push off the high ground, gets the hack there on to Cry, but now with the blade coming through from Nova,
able to get 2 picks, falls at the end, but not gonna matter. Flashback's gonna hold through again, and really, Race could have got that EMP off at the beginning of the fight. We might be talking about a different outcome here, but gonna have ultimates available for them to retake here, but Flashbacks have doing a great job here, not throwing everything out at once.
I'll tell you what I want to see in this fight, though. We got a lot of abilities on both sides, a lot of ultimates. EMP early, get a big EMP like you did on Anubis race, and then let's follow it up with a high noon, man, because that can be devastating. You don't have mobility to get out of the way, you don't have any shields. That's how you can get value out of this. So let's see that combo, and let's get a 3, 4, 5 minute EMP here, and you guys can take advantage and get this point. I believe in you.
Yeah, and looks like Ray's going to be sticking closer to point here. A good window from Apathy, going to take away a lot of space and picking
There it
up
is.
5 members. There it is from Race, being massive tonight with these EMPs. 2 picks there coming out, and the lift now actually going to come through from Beastman, trying to get the picks of their own. Beastman able to get 1, but the Shatter now connecting, taking down the tanks here very low for the side of Flashback. They're going to start falling, but not as 2 picks come through, but the spawn's going to be closer here for the Potatoes, and really as Beastman tries to stall it as long as can, hacks through, not able to eat through that Tesla can, and Potatoes able to pick through with only 26 seconds left. So a great hold from Flashbacks. Not tons of time going to be available here, but if Potatoes are able to get a couple of quick fights out of here and kind of start getting a snowball, definitely enough time bank for them to have a really strong second and third point push.
Yeah, they can definitely snowball. They got rally coming up. You can build it into your window because no ultimates on the side of Flashbacks right now. They're gonna have to poke, get something built up here. Try to get a bongo and do something with that. Trying to use that damage boost to build up all these other ultimates, but man, it's not looking good right now for the Flashbacks.
No, not at all. And a pull coming through, trying to get that rally off to save the Baptiste, but not before Seraph's able to do the work there on this Ashe. And now the Supercharger coming through from the Flashbacks as well. Going to give even more damage available. Nova dashing through like a sous chef, getting all of the picks needed. The cart progressing through just a little bit, but not much further going to be available as Flashbacks holding right after this first choke here on the second. And 2 minutes going to be left now for the Potatoes to build up enough ultimates to push through. But the Flashbacks going to have enough of their own here to balance things out.
You think Nova would be the sous chef? You don't think he'd be head chef for?
And in my kitchen, I'm having that sous chef just dice.
Oh, he's in your. Oh, so
yeah.
Nova's in your kitchen. Okay,
That's right.
Okay.
He gets to do all the cutting that I don't want to do.
Okay, I didn't realize that was the scenario we were going with here.
Always. Everything's about me. That's why I'm in charge.
Oh,
But Apathy's
that's
window
okay.
doing enough work here to stop this fight at the beginning. Potatoes losing a member early on. A good positioning from Race, trying to put damage into the back. Race almost getting dropped. Nova dashing through again, but Potatoes going to wait for these respawns to come back around. They're getting ready for this Brigida, but not going to have tons of sustain available. Maybe looking for an EMP early on, and as Nova falls, no blade available to counteract here, having to throw out the Bob to deal with it, but he doesn't actually get hacked from the EMP, so Bob's going to be contesting point even longer here, but Potatoes pushing forward, taking down a res in the fight, but not before Bird falls to that Bob, so going to be down one of their tanks. You see ultimates coming out from either side here. You see the High Noon going through with that window, not able to pick any up because Cry doing a great job there with the rally, keeping the team alive as Nova looking to start off with this blade, not even having to use it yet as the Potatoes fall through their Cry, just giving enough sustain with that rally to allow the Flashbacks to keep pushing through.
Yeah, just excellent stabilization there. Usually a lot of teams only get one fight out of the second point. You get it about halfway through, and you're just like, all right, let's set up for third point. Let's get a really good, solid defense. But Flashbacks proven why they've been so dominant this tournament. Just like, nah, we don't play that way. We're getting aggressive. We win every fight. But
yes, but Nova falling now with that with that blade going to be up, and another shatter block. That just seems to be the way Flashback plays. They don't need a Reinhardt in a Reinhardt battle. They're blocking everything. But regardless, a couple of big picks coming through from the Potatoes. The blade coming out from Nova, looking through the immortality field, seeming to be perfect as he falls. No picks there on a very big ultimate. The Bob going to be contesting point. Flashbacks aren't out of this yet. Beastman getting the lift. Members falling. Falling now. Beastman trying to come through clutch here, but Potatoes trying their best to sustain through the immortality field. Going to give Cry a lot of space available here to take on Cart. And as the Potatoes getting the do or die, the beat from the core comes out perfectly. The High Noon going to be available, looking for Lazuli up in the top, able to pick up 2 picks in the end. And the response from the Potatoes doing enough, it seems. The cart getting so close, and my goodness, the Zuli's McCree coming through huge there for the Potatoes.
Yeah, that Cree coming in huge, but I want to give it up for Core with that beat.
Oh,
So many people were low. It was about to be over for the Potatoes. And he gets it just in time, gets back to the point just in time, smashes that Q button, and drops that beat.
Good job out of them, and Race falling early, trying to get a little bit more charge, but is going to have the EMP available in this fight. Nothing to really counter with it yet. I do like the positioning from Bird, though, on the high ground. The very early window from Apathy doing a good job putting pressure on this choke, but the Potato's just going to push right through it, getting the pick there onto Apathy, but as Lazuli falls, the hit scan not going to be available to deal with Nova, but a 5-man EMP coming out. What a cost 6 if Apathy wasn't down, but the follow-up just not available for the Potatoes. They were able to take down a res, but with 2 more members, 3 now falling for the Potatoes, this fight gonna stop, and gonna wish they had that EMP back with only 30 seconds left here to push into third, and oh!
That's a fat finger.
That's a misclick.
That's a bad Nova.
Unfortunate, because there wasn't going to be much really to deal with that. Now the core going to have 81% to this beat, and really can use it just help sustain in this fight.
Yeah, now that you don't have to counter the blade, you can use it. You push with it, get aggressive, use it to counter something else. You know, use it to counter the flux that's going to be coming in soon.
And the fight in the back, Race against Seraph. Seraph just getting the bomb, but not before falling. Beastman using another flux here. Core, perfect timing there to keep the members alive. And as a res falls to the Coalescence, gonna be Potatoes pushing around the corner here in overtime. Lazuli getting 2 more picks at the end, but with Race falling, gonna be tough for them. And Surfy getting 2 aggressive. That's 2 members down, but the Flashbacks touching just 0.05 left before on the end. They need to be
Bird
careful not fall off the point, though. Oh my goodness, Bird getting 2 big picks. The healing, though, gonna be gone from him. It's up to the core to sustain through the team, but with this supercharger going through, Flashbacks just the microscopic distance left for them. Basically a 3rd-point push, but oh my goodness, that was so close to them giving up there.
And that's the big qualifier. There's basically a 3rd-point push, because now I don't want to say all they have to do is cap, because that's still quite the task ahead of them. But if you finish the map, you win. Plain and simple. And you win with another 3-0.
Yeah.
Flashbacks. This is your chance for the golden preseason.
12-0 is any kind of task, let alone starting out as your team's pretty new. I mean, their first Tranquility matches, some players definitely on Flashbacks last season, but definitely a new roster. So impressive of any team able to do that, and especially they don't know what to expect out of the teams they've been playing against. The first time that they have seen them, and the first time those teams have done anything here through Tranquility. So an impressive feat alone to go 11-0 so far on maps, regardless of the outcome tonight. But looking for that 12-0, and it seems to be in the Flashbacks' favor. Our poll earlier showing you guys having the same idea here, calling for that 3-0 after halftime, and now totally up to them to see if they're going to be able to do it. And looking at these lineups, the first time we've seen Beastman, I think, on anything besides that Sigma, and they're back to the Sigma. Yeah, he's been doing so well on it.
So I figured out a name for the comp, actually. We have somebody in chat saying Monkey Ryan. Somebody says Scientist Ryan. The name for the comp, the Ryantist.
Ooh, I like that. That's good.
We're calling it the Ryantist comp. Yep.
Ooh, that's very good. And Race going to be seeing that on the Sombra, doing some scouting, watching this push through here through Viking, and going to be running basically the same costume we've seen on Flashbacks all night. That hat coming through onto Apathy, not able to get the heals through, and a very aggressive hold here from the Potatoes, holding very early as this Ryantist comp that we're going to going now. Looking to get some early poke there, which gives this Winston a lot more ult charge and space early on, but the heals having to be pumped out to keep their team alive. And with the core falling, a lot of sustain gonna be gone for the Potatoes, and now no shield left for Surfy and no immortality. They're just gonna crumble as Flashbacks look straight into that aggressive positioning from the Potatoes.
Yeah, and Nova already building a blade, doesn't even need to use it, but now he can be aggressive with this 2nd point. Maybe go out early, catch somebody if they go a little bit too overextended, or catch somebody on the flank. But it looks like we're going to get a good job here from the Potatoes, coming out as a unit, not letting anybody be in straggles, not going to let them be spawn camped or picked off. Oh,
now,
the hack!
Oh, a very good hack there. Risa falling solo, but the team able to help out, it seems. So Race trying to build up towards that EMP. Want to combine that there with the Deadeye, but 2 ults up for the Potatoes. Flashbacks, though, going to be opened up with their own blade going through. Is hacked and stunned. Not able to take out the core in the beginning of the fight, though, and that just might be enough there. And the High Noon still coming out from the Potatoes, not able to catch any, unfortunately. And Flashbacks going to be pushing through, although not able to pick up enough with the blade, the teamwork being strong enough.
Yeah, just such dominance out of this meta composition. They know how to play it so. And like I said, they've only been together for probably a couple of weeks, but they know their individual parts to play, and they're getting the teamwork down. Is it perfect? No, but is it very, very solid? Definitely yes. Oh, I may have lost. Did I lose you there? Yep. All right. So I'm going to finish up this play-by-play as we see Seraph just dominating with that Ashe. They get a nice second point push here. Not having to use too many ults. They still have 3 ultimates and 75% to a blade coming up. Whereas we do have the massive EMP coming out from Race that we've seen. I don't think he's gotten less than a 4-man EMP all night. So we could see an EMP shatter here. But an early pickoff from Seraph onto Lazuli. That could be devastating. Now that's one of their major DPS. And an early rally gets mashed. And another 4-man EMP. And there's the Shadow. But they were able to get into the Immortality. They're able to back it up. They keep kiting. And the halt into Flux. But the Immortality from Sheffic there keeps everybody alive. And a Blade's going to come out of Nova and clean things up. Excellent job there. Kiting back on the side of Flashbacks. Just being able to poke a little bit, do a little bit, go back, do a little bit, come back. Oh, yeah, I know you're mad at me, Yeti. It was a terrible pun. Right? I apologized ahead of time. Race trying to get some value out of this back, but can't get the hack off before he gets shot by Seraph. Seraph holding this flank. Nova with the early pick, though, through the opposing window. Oh, there he is.
There, okay, sorry, thank you. I have had so much computer issues tonight. I wish I could have cast there, but a great solo cast from my co-caster there, and not really seeming like I needed to be there for it anyway, as Flashbacks just steamrolling through there. I don't even think the cart was really stopped at all from second or third point. GG's on the tat from both teams there, but Flashbacks showing off here in the preseason tournament and taking the 12-0 golden run here and really showing how strong and of a contender they're going to be here in the season 5 for the Harmony tier.
Yeah. I will say though, all of our play of the games tonight, we had 2 from Beastman, 1 here from our Rez. All tanks.
Hey, you don't see that too often.
Despite the flashy plays we saw out of both DPS sides, all tanks for the play of the game. So that just shows you, even if your DPS are popping off in the, they're not doing it on their own, people.
Exactly. The tank supports being very strong there from the Flashbacks. We were going in talking earlier about how strong we thought their DPS line was and still showing how strong it was. But I mean, if I'm going to give it really to anybody over on the side of the Flashbacks tonight, I was insanely powerful.
Oh, you're cutting out there a little bit on me. Booth, do we have you? All right. Oh no, did my Discord crash? Can anybody hear me? Okay, I'm good. Okay. Booth's dying on me.
Oh my goodness.
So my play of the match, I think I'm gonna give it to Seraph probably. Good plays on the McCree, good plays on the Ashe, good job taking space. Played with his team very well. Knew his role, filled out the role, and did his role to the best of his ability. And that's what you want out of a player. You carried when he needed to, but didn't force the issue.
Yeah.
Never try to make hero plays.
Which we saw a few times out of the Potatoes, trying to get some of those big fight-winning DPS ults at the end. But I think it just shows of how well the Flashbacks really are with their coordination between ultimates. And I think they're going to be, if teams haven't already figured out, going to be a serious contender here and probably a favorite now going into the season. I mean, I don't know how you beat the returning champions from the previous season 3-0 and just sweep through the preseason tournament and not be a favorite.
That I can't argue with it. I mean, flashbacks they're looking so strong, and if this core can stay the same, if this roster can stay the same without making too many changes to it, and just get that synergy together, because this team hasn't been together for
Yeah.
a couple weeks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, not
Man,
very long.
you look at this team, a month into the season, a month and a half into the season, man, that's because they're already playing this meta so well, and obviously metas can change. There can be a patch coming in here, but they understand how to play this game so well, and they're playing, like I said, as a team. There was never really anybody going off these gigantic flanks looking for huge things. Yeah, Nova had some huge blades. The tanks had some huge plays as well, as we saw on the play of the games with Beastman. But they were doing it within the concept, within the design of how the composition is supposed to work.
Yeah, they're really showing off their understanding of this meta so far, showing how strong it is to have these Genji players available. And they're going to be a force to be reckoned with here. But that's not all we have for Overwatch Tranquility this week. Of course, tonight was the finals for our Harmony tiers. But tomorrow we will be broadcasting here on the channel our Transcendence tier finals with a match here between GDH and the Ghostly Peppers, which is one we have been really looking forward to. A lot of friends between both teams, both doing very well here in our preseason tournament. So you're not going to want to miss that one. And no longer are you going to want to miss our Thursday matchup as well with the Flying Lions taking on Battalion. A lot of Tranquility veterans across all four teams just mentioned, but even more exciting, at least for me, and I know Cavalier was mentioned this earlier when he and I were discussing it. Friday, we're going to be having an admin pong and Q&A night. First time we've done that here at the beginning of the season, so that's going to be a real fun one to look forward to. Make sure you guys are tuning into those. Going to be broadcasted here on OW Tranquility's Twitch channel, all 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. But as our game tonight, I think we see looking forward to a lot of great things available for us in Season 5. So make sure you guys are tuning in for those. Make sure you're subscribing and following the channel. Be looking for our updates. Get that LBA role in the Discord if you want to stay updated on all of our Tranquility things coming through. Make sure you check out the store as well. We have our discount codes available here if you want to grab some Tranquility merchandise for some of your favorite teams going into the season. But for Overwatch Tranquility, I have been Booth, joined by Cavalier on production and our friend Vol here on analyst. Thank you both for being here with us. It was a great cast. Hopefully get some my computer issues finished here for our future things going through. But thank you all for tuning in, and we'll catch you in the next one.
I'm NPC, the Tranquility Hammer. Have you lost Overwatch games due to smurfs, levers, or throwers? Have you been on the same team as Bard? You may be entitled to compensation.
I used to be in silver. Thanks to NPC and the Overwatch Tranquility community gear, I'm now a gold Moira player, spawn camping Ice, the Season 3 Discord tier MVP. Thanks, NPC!
Go to my website right now and let me fight for discounts for you. Go to owtranquility.org and click store, or go to shop.spreadshirt.com/owtranquility.
I've asked to remain anonymous for my safety, but I'm an admin in an Overwatch community. It can be exhausting work. But these shirts, they're so cheap, I have shirts to burn. And now thanks to NPC, I can own the Zoomers, and I can do it in style.
I'm going to hammer down prices of Tranquility merchandise this week. Up to 15%. If you place your order on July 29th or July 30th, you'll get 15% off your entire order. Go to my website now to get the SR and the Tranquility gear that you deserve. Tranquility merchandise does not guarantee victories in Overwatch or increase in skill rating. 15% off, valid on orders placed on July 29th and 30th at Spreadshirt.com.